Welcome back to Night Coffee Crime, where today we dive into a case of unimaginable betrayal, deception, and a devastating loss. This is the haunting story of Stephen Riley Jr., a man who had everything to look forward to until the promise of a $30 million inheritance lured him into a nightmare. His girlfriend of 10 years, Thea, twisted this dream into a fatal illusion, forever altering the lives of those who loved him. Join us as we uncover the horrifying events that led to his tragic end. It all began with an email, a simple message that seemed to offer Stephen Riley a chance at a new beginning. The email claimed that a distant relative had left him a $30 million inheritance and instructed him to meet a lawyer at Minot International Airport to finalize the paperwork. Little did Riley know, this email was a cruel scam that would set in motion his final days. Filled with anticipation, Riley arrived at the airport on September 3, joined by friends who wanted to witness the start of his new chapter. But as they waited, the supposed lawyer never appeared, and something far more sinister began to unfold. Suddenly, Riley felt strange, dizzy, disoriented, and unable to walk straight. He hadn't been drinking, yet he appeared intoxicated, clutching his stomach in pain. His friends were alarmed, urging him to seek medical help. But the woman he'd trusted for a decade, insisted it was only heat stroke and dismissed any need for outside assistance. Little did his friends know, Riley's life was already slipping away. As the hours passed, Riley's condition deteriorated rapidly. By the time they reached home, he was unable to walk, vomiting, and completely disoriented. Friends were desperate to help, but asserting that she had medical experience, brushed off their concerns. She insisted it was simply heat stroke and that he just needed to rest. The following morning, one of Riley's friends checked in on him and spoke to through a closed door. She claimed Riley was at a nearby walk-in clinic. Desperately, the friend searched every clinic in Minot, only to discover that Riley was nowhere to be found. Hours later, paramedics were finally summoned to Riley's home after receiving reports of an unconscious male. Rushed to the emergency room, his condition was so severe he was flown to a hospital in Bismarck, but the damage had been done. Riley never regained consciousness and passed away the following day on September 5. The man who'd looked forward to a windfall of wealth left this world without even knowing the brutal truth behind his illness. The tragedy didn't end with Riley's death. An autopsy revealed high levels of ethylene glycol, a toxic substance found in antifreeze, in his system. Investigators quickly honed in on As they searched the couple's home, evidence painted a chilling picture. A search warrant was conducted on and her boyfriend's residence, which resulted in investigators finding an old Windex bottle without a cap that contained a bright green liquid in the living room. A glass Coors Light bottle and a plastic mug, both containing the same liquid, were found in the garage. The liquid was suspected to be antifreeze. Friends began recounting strange comments had made about antifreeze, both before and after Riley's death. When investigators confronted her, she insisted Riley was drinking alcohol all day on September 3 and that he had a heat stroke. But the toxicology report confirmed there was no alcohol in his system. In a desperate attempt to defend herself, even speculated that Riley's cigarette might have accidentally fallen into antifreeze in the garage and then he smoked it. Then began stating that on Google it says that heat stroke can mimic poisoning. But her explanations unraveled quickly, leading to the chilling realization that had premeditated every move. Finally, broke down, admitting that on September 3 she had been mixing antifreeze into Riley's sweet tea. Ethylene glycol's dangerously sweet taste had hidden the poison too well. Why would take such an extreme and calculated step? Court documents reveal a motive as twisted as the crime itself. Believed Riley's phantom inheritance would become her own fortune, all because she saw herself as his common-law wife. She suspected that Riley was planning to end their relationship once he received the money. Fueled by greed, she imagined a future where she could claim a portion of the non-existent $30 million. Even after Riley's death, she discussed sharing the inheritance with his son, unaware that her so-called marriage was legally unrecognized and entitled her to nothing. Kenoyer was furious when investigators informed her that North Dakota does not recognize common-law marriages. She had been living with Riley for nearly a decade and believed that as his common-law wife, she would inherit a portion of his supposed $30 million windfall. But when the investigators told her that she was legally entitled to nothing, her dreams of wealth crumbled. To make matters worse, the inheritance was a scam, a cruel deception that had led her to believe in a fortune that never existed. The reality of her situation began to sink in as she grappled with the devastating loss of both her partner and any hope of financial gain. The most heartbreaking piece of this tragedy is the enduring pain of Riley's family, who've lost so much more than a potential fortune. Riley's sister, Stephanie Gonzalez, stood in court and addressed Kenoyer with words that echoed the anguish felt by his loved ones. "You stole a son from his mother and stepfather. You stole a father from 5 sons, a brother from 2 sisters, an uncle from 12 nieces and nephews, and a great-uncle to 8, and many friends. How does it feel to have taken so much for absolutely nothing?" The words hung heavy in the air, a reminder that this was no faceless crime. Riley's death left a void in the lives of those who cherished him, a void Kenoyer could never fill, no matter what inheritance she believed she deserved. Despite initially pleading innocence, Kenoyer changed her plea to guilty. In a dramatic conclusion to the case, State District Judge Richard Hagar approved a joint sentencing recommendation for Thea Kenoyer, who had been convicted of poisoning her longtime boyfriend, Stephen Riley Jr. The sentence stipulated that Kenoyer would serve 25 years in prison, with another 25 years suspended, alongside 10 years of supervised probation. Additionally, Kenoyer was ordered to pay $3,455 in restitution to Riley's family, a symbolic attempt at compensating for the devastating loss caused by her actions. Her hopes for a life of luxury vanished, replaced with the prospect of a long and solitary confinement. This story is a grim reminder of the depths to which greed can drive a person and the irrevocable destruction it leaves in its wake. Stephen Riley's life was taken, not by chance, but by the betrayal of someone he trusted implicitly. The allure of wealth, it turns out, can lead to a devastating fall, one that's claimed more than a single life. Thank you for watching Night Coffee Crime. Cases like this are hard to hear, but they remind us of the dangers of blind trust and the terrifying consequences of unchecked greed. If you found this story thought-provoking, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark side of human nature. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.